I know that you're also a strong advocate of us unlocking value from our assets and our enterprises. You've been on this, and of course, you also served in the Ministry of Finance Incorporated Governing Council. You served there. So recently, Dr. Armstrong Takang, the managing director of the Ministry of Finance Incorporated, at an event I attended, talked about the fact that we need a national asset register. It's being worked on. And he said that we can, like President Buhari had charged them, unlock value to about 100 trillion naira, which will have impact on the market, which you've also advocated. But the big question is the National Asset Register a priority, or the deal room, which you discuss in the sessions you have on the Nigerian Economic Outlook, powered by the EA?
Right. So, out of the National Asset Register or the deal room, which one should come first? Yes. Is your question. Yeah. Quite obviously, the logical answer is that the deal room should come first. The deal room should have been created in the first month of MOFI's existence, because that is where the rubber hits the tarmac. You can neither take off nor land without the rubber hitting the tarmac. So MOFI's arrival should have been marked by the creation and announcement of a deal room. Asset register, as important as it may be, doesn't provide you any immediate answer to the problem at hand.
To addressing the illiquidity
That's right.
issues. Yeah.
You need to do deals to unlock liquidity. And asset register could be academic, because if you do create an asset register, maybe only a small fraction of the assets on the register could be financial assets. The bulk of the assets will be non-financial. And it is through the deal making that you financialize non-financial assets. Asset register you can always do, but survive, you can't delay survival. Yeah. So let's have the deal room. Did Saudi Arabia create a national asset register before they financialized Aramco? No, they did not. So you're going to look for immediate assets that can be has a potential market value, but which we don't know the market value. So look at the list of the 18 trillion assets in MOFI's books. Some of them will be kept there at historical value or at book value. Bring some of them to the deal room to establish their market value. That's a deal. Taking Aramco to the market and establishing that it is now worth 1.7 trillion in 2019 is a deal. And subsequently raising sukuk against it at home and abroad are deals. You don't have to go and do census. Yeah. Are we together? Sure. So we are saying create a delivery room and count the bats, live bats that are happening in the delivery room. Yeah. You don't need to do census to register new bat. Yeah. Or to register, people who are old and who are exiting. So you can do, when last you do a census? But we register bat every day. We register that every day. Mm. So don't confuse. The two are in the MOFI charter. Yeah. The president asked that a deal room or a project hatchery be created. What the president didn't say at inauguration is to put a date to when it should be created. There's nothing delaying anybody from starting the deal room.
So that's a priority for this government.
Letting MDAs or even states or even private, who have proposals, for funding national assets to originate deals. And it is that deal room that all key government agencies involved in the deal-making value chain must be there. So it's a one-stop shop for de-risking projects, for facilitating investment, for accelerating investment, typically chaired by the head of state. And it is that deal room that investors will also come in at the buy end. So MDAs come in at the sell end, say this idle land has a potential, for this, for that. And all the MDAs are there as a clearing, it's also a clearing house. Yes. Say that, okay, there are no conflicting claims. If there are conflicts, they resolve them. And if valuation needs to be done, it's done on that deal platform. And valuation deals are countable deals. Yeah. Because it unlocks wealth for the country. You don't know the value of NNPC. Put NNPC in that deal room. Let's establish the market value. You have property, real estate, you don't know the value. Put it on that deal. Once the value is established, it begins to give us a base of financialized assets that our debts can be referenced to. Just establishing market valuation can take MOFI assets from that 18 trillion in excess of the 100 trillion.
Yeah.
So why delay it? What are we waiting for? When our debts keeps, spiraling and
that's an action
gets
point,
looking
definitely
desperate.
Yeah.
So both are worth doing, but one is more urgent than the other. The deal room is if you have a national asset register but you don't have a deal room, it's to no avail. So you have the register in vain. So deal room is urgent.